start recording. Okay, this is recording. Okay. Would you like to introduce yourself to begin with?
Sure. So my name is Eris. I work for Qantas as an international cabin crew supervisor, but I have a side business as well called Eris Weddings, which is a celebrant business. And I've been running that business for the past 6 years. I just celebrated my 6th anniversary a few days ago.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I guess that kind of answered the first question. Tell us a bit about business. But yeah, so Grace, would you like
So I marry people.
Yeah.
I marry people. I have the legal power to declare them married, which is a license that is given by the government. So you have to go through a course and then you need to sit some exams and whatnot. And then the government issues you with the license. And with that license, I have the ability to declare people married.
Yeah, wonderful. All right, Grace, would you like to ask the next question?
Why did you decide to become your own boss?
Actually, it wasn't, I never took this up thinking that I was going to be my own boss. How it happened was a very close friend of mine was getting married, and she said it would be amazing if I could actually marry them. And they asked if I could, become a celebrant for this. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. Not knowing how heavily involved the studying part of it was. So it took me quite a few months actually to get through the course and then get through the application process with the government. And finally I had my license. So I'm like, okay, well, a week before they got married is when I got my license. So it was very, yeah.
Yeah.
And once I did their wedding, I said to myself, well, I actually really enjoyed this. So I'm going to turn this into a business and I'll have this as my side business because I enjoyed it so much.
That's amazing. Yeah. Grace. So I guess what was your, well, that kind of also answers my next question. What was your first objective when you started your business? But what were your expectations for your business? Did you think it was going to be something long-term?
Well, when I first decided that, okay, let me explore this a little bit more than doing a favor to my friends, and I decided, okay, maybe I could turn this into a business. I didn't think that it was going to introduce me to this whole world that I had no idea that existed, which was, the journey that it took me on had me meeting beautiful people. And at their happiest times, people are getting married, they're so happy to see you, they're so happy to meet you, and just interacting with them in that way. And I feed off on, a lot of positive energy and love just throughout my life. So having that as a business as well made me decide this is great. I can do this for a very long time.
Yeah. Grace?
Okay. How do you promote your business? What platforms do you use?
Well, being a celebrant, you definitely need your own website.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I did was I sat down with a friend of mine who actually knows how to do these things. I am not tech savvy at all when it comes to designing your own website and whatnot. So I designed my own, well, with the help of my friend. Mm-hmm. So I've got erisweddings.com.au. I really don't think today people actually jump on websites as much.
Yeah.
People have moved away from that now. So the next thing where I promote myself is Instagram. They do, couples often, more than going to your website, they want to see you in action. So they want to go on your Instagram page and see you in a more natural sort of, I can't really say natural because Instagram can be a bit fake as well, but they want to see you more in that sort of platform.
Yeah.
I am on Facebook as well, so I promote myself on Facebook. When I first started my business, because I have a Turkish background, I promoted myself on the Turkish yellow pages, which is where all the Turkish community would promote their businesses on. I didn't really see the benefits of that. So I quickly stopped that marketing, and I just focused on Instagram and Facebook.
So do you think you would stick with Instagram and Facebook for years following? Like, do you think it's benefited your business?
I must say that majority of my clients are actually coming from word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
They would have either seen me at another wedding.
Yeah.
They would have heard about me through their friends who have had me as a celebrant.
Mm-hmm.
So majority of my clients are through that.
Yeah.
I'm yet to have a client who has found me through Instagram only, or social media, let's call it. That has not happened yet. They just, after they find about your name, then they go in and check your socials to see, do we like this guy? What does he look like? What does he sound like? So that has helped me, yes. Moving forward though, I know that the world is now heavily involved in TikTok. So that is something that I need to maybe look into potentially, and I might have to reach out to my niece who has more understanding of how TikTok works, and see how potentially I could use that for my business.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what would you say are some pros and cons of being your own boss?
Well, the pros are that I am my own boss, so I don't have to listen to anybody. I get to take on as much work as I want. Because I also work for Qantas, I can't do this as a full-time job. So I limit myself with the amount of weddings that I want to do per year.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be overwhelmed by work. I do enjoy my life as well. So it is really good to be able to say, that's all I need. I don't want to accept any more business. So that's the pros. The cons is sometimes because it's such a single person job, I do everything myself. So the couple meet me, I write their story, I write their ceremony. I am there by myself, setting up my speaker, doing my sound check, and then presenting the script and the ceremony. So it can be sometimes lonely.
Yeah.
I do enjoy working with people, and I'm I love teamwork. Whereas this one is like, I've just driven to Mornington Peninsula or the Yarra Valley. Beautiful drive, but I'm all by myself in my car heading back home. It would be nice to have, I don't know, like a business partner or someone to actually talk about the day that was just ahead of us,
What does it mean to be a business owner to you?
I think it's very, it has given me a lot of confidence in terms of I don't have to just solely rely on my income from being an employee. So it has shown me that I can create an opportunity for myself to bring more money home, let's say. Yeah. It empowers. I would like to set a good example as well to my family and my friends, my close friends nearby around me, to show them that you can have a successful business on the side as well as your full-time job. I really enjoy telling people that I actually have a side business, in a social setting as well. This is what I do, and often people are really interested in the line of work that I do. They go, oh my God, so have you had any bridezillas? Or tell us your stories. So it's really nice socially as well to be able to share my stories with people.
Yeah. What did you learn about operating your own business that you might have not known when you first started?
Well, definitely, I had a lot of hope in social media. I thought my clients were going to rein in from, checking out my social media. That definitely did not happen. I thought that advertising on a platform I forgot to mention to you guys called Easy Weddings was a great idea, and I paid them a lot of money to have access to their clientele, and they were sort of responsible for promoting me as well, and I got nothing from that, and I spent a lot of money. So I think do your research before you jump into any form of marketing. Know where I should have known or done more research towards marketing to see what would work well for me before I jumped into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you find challenging about being your own boss?
I can't say no sometimes. Challenging about being my own boss. For example, I suck at doing all the financial side of the business. I'm all involved in the creative side. Let me create, put together the story and the ceremony and whatnot. But when it comes to asking for the money from the clients, I found that very difficult. Going, and here is my invoice, thank you. In time, I have become a little bit more comfortable with doing this. If they have passed the deadline on making payments, that has been a bit of a challenge for me to remind them, I think you missed paying me by 5 days. So please make the payment. That's probably the challenge.
Yeah, well, one of our questions was going to be, how do you manage your finances anyway? You've already answered that, so I think we'll just, I
can actually add to that if you want.
Okay.
It's very important for, if you are running your own business and you don't really understand from a lot of the financial side of things, obviously I work with a tax agent because I have to pay tax on the money that I make. So I have a tax agent who takes care of all that for me. I just have to provide him with the information about, how much I've made and receipts that I've collected that have got to do with the business that I'm running. So it's very important that you work with a professional so they look after you in that sense.
Yeah. You also mentioned how it was really lonely and how you would probably want someone else there with you. So would you ever consider expanding your business and employing others to work under your brand?
It's a bit difficult because, the line of work that I do is sort of a solo job. However, at busy times, I am considering potentially, in the next 10 years, maybe dropping down the hours that I do at Qantas and, picking up more of my wedding business. In that case, I might look into some casual work, potentially, that a person who can help me set up this, the sound system, do the sound check for me, interact with the clients when I'm busy, so they take on a bit more of that customer service related work. But that's not now. That's in probably the next 5 to 10 years.
What are some potential threats to your business?
The brides. No, I'm joking. Okay, so some of the threats are, for example, if I was to get sick a day before your wedding, or even I woke up that morning and I have gastro. Now that's a threat to my business because you can never how are you going to replace yourself? These people have paid thousands of dollars for their wedding to happen that day at a beautiful venue, and all of a sudden you're terribly sick. How are they going to get married? So that is a threat. So for this, you need to establish a good line of network of other celebrants as well, which I have done. So I'm in sort of like an alliance of celebrants, male and female, and we often help each other out if one person can't make it, and if something happens. We're all human. Anything can happen. You can have an accident on the way going to the venue. You could have a death in the family. You could have a severe illness on the morning of. So you just reach out to your network. But it is uncomfortable because the couple have actually picked you.
Yeah.
They like you, not somebody else. So unfortunately, though, we are human as well, and things can go sour in our lives as well. In that case, you need to have backup plans. The next one I would say is, I often ask my couples, is there anything that I need to be aware of during the ceremony, or any family dispute I need to be aware of that might be a threat to the ceremony? Because I have had this. So during the ceremony, a family member who wasn't invited had rocked up.
Oh.
And they caused a big scene at the ceremony.
Yeah.
But as the celebrant, you actually have control. You have to have control over that moment because you are managing the ceremony.
Yeah.
So you don't just shut up and let it go and let the family deal with it. You sort of have to manage the situation as it comes. You have to say, sir, now is not the moment for you to express these emotions. Can I please invite you to leave the venue right now?
Yeah.
Or, you just need to do your best to eliminate that. So now, since I've had that experience, whenever I have new couples, I ask them, do you think we will be in a position like this? No, all good, perfect.
Yeah. Do you feel like other celebrants might be a threat to your business, or no?
No. I don't. I'm a part of as I said, I'm a part of a celebrant group, and it's competition. It's community. We call it community over competition.
Mm-hmm.
So we've created a beautiful celebrant community together where we all help each other out. And we have a Facebook page where we ask questions to each other. We vent because, we have had a bad day with some couples, and we vent at each other going, oh my God, you would not believe what has happened to me. So I don't see celebrants as a threat. We all have different ways of running our business and different ways of interacting with our couples, different ways of presenting the ceremonies. So it's quite unique. When you look at an artist and you go, I like your artwork, and then you look at somebody else's, you go, oh, you start criticizing it. So it's pretty much a bit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everyone's got an audience, and everyone's got a style. Who some people don't like my style, and that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay. Yeah.
How did your business cope during the pandemic?
Really good question. First time in Australian history, marrying and conducting weddings were banned.
Yeah.
For a bit of time. So it was actually never, ever, we've ever heard this before. Couples were reaching out, devastated, because their wedding plans can't go ahead, and not having certainty over when this can happen. They would rebook their venue. Obviously, the challenge is, am I available now?
Yeah.
Is your DJ available? Is your photographer available? But I have had a couple who has had to book me 4 times because of lockdowns.
Oh.
They have tried 4 times, and on the 4th one we got it in the end. It was a success, but the poor things had to go through that emotion and the stress 4 times. So the challenge on my business was obviously because I wasn't able to conduct ceremonies, I was financially missing out. The challenge for this year is because last year a lot of weddings couldn't happen, and 2020 a lot of weddings couldn't happen. All of a sudden this year I've got a backlog of so many weddings back to back. And now I am run off my feet. So that's how the pandemic has affected me. yeah, so it's now quite challenging to find some time for myself.
Yeah. Well, that's all the questions we had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, great! I hope you enjoyed my responses, and you're able to get some some stuff out of it that benefits you guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much.